told you that in ancient Egypt, at the height of its power, a staggering 1 in 5 people might have been enslaved. It makes you wonder, what does freedom really mean, and how far would you go to get it? This is the story of one man who answered that question, not just for himself but for an entire nation. His name was Moses, and his story is one of the most powerful tales of liberation ever told. The journey from the chains of slavery to the hope of freedom. Imagine being born into a world where your only purpose is to serve someone else. The Israelites in Egypt lived this nightmare every single day. They were forced into brutal labor, building monuments for a king, the Pharaoh, who saw them as nothing more than tools. Their backs ached, their spirits were crushed, and with every brick they laid, their hope for a better life faded. They cried out, a desperate collective prayer for someone, anyone, to save them from this relentless oppression, and that's when their call was answered. Not by a king or a warrior, but by a man who had once been raised as a prince of Egypt himself, Moses. After a dramatic encounter with a burning bush, Moses returned to Egypt with a simple but earth-shattering message for the most powerful man on earth. Let my people go. Pharaoh, of course, refused. He scoffed at Moses' demand, but this was just the beginning. What followed was a terrifying display of power. The 10 plagues. Rivers turned to blood. Swarms of locusts devoured the crops, and darkness fell over the land. Each plague was a direct challenge to Pharaoh's authority, a sign that a higher power was at work. Still, Pharaoh's heart remained hard. It wasn't until the final, most devastating plague that he finally, terrifyingly relented. The Israelites didn't walk out of Egypt, they fled. With Pharaoh's army in hot pursuit, they found themselves trapped at the edge of the Red Sea. It was a moment of sheer panic. Behind them, the chariots of their enslavers. In front of them, an impassable body of water. Freedom seemed like a cruel joke. But then, in the defining moment of their story, Moses raised his staff and the sea parted. They walked through on dry land, walls of water on either side. As the last Israelite stepped onto the far shore, the sea crashed down, swallowing the Egyptian army whole. They were at long last truly free. Their journey to the Promised Land had just begun, but they were no longer slaves. Moses' story is more than just an ancient tale. It's a timeless symbol of hope. It reminds us that even in the face of impossible odds, the fight for freedom and dignity is a righteous one, echoing in struggles for liberation even today. What part of Moses' story resonates with you the most? And who are some other historical figures that inspire you with their fight for freedom? Let me know in the comments below. And don't forget to follow for more incredible stories from history.